Welcome to another episode of InRange's Patreon-supported spinner challenge. You know what I've got here? 1873 Winchester. You know what else I've got?
What's that?
Pocket full of shells.
Of course.
Of course. So these are typically, or were at the time, loaded in 4440 or 44 Winchester centerfire. These are 45 Colt cartridges. However, they are loaded to 4440 spec. So we're getting the same thing. 200 grain bullet, 4440 velocities. Just happens to be chambered in 45 Colt. The original guns were not chambered in 45 Colt because the rim on original 45 Colt cartridges was insufficient to be used in a lever gun. So we also have behind us, what, a spinner? What distance?
25 yards.
And we degreased it.
Correct.
So there's no challenge about this being greased, not greased. I'm gonna do it first, and then you're gonna do it too, right?
Yep.
So we got 25 yards, 1873 lever gun with 4440 velocity, 45 Colt. This thing holds a lot, man. It's like,
I'm guessing you're going to get it in 5 solid hits.
you think so?
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a whirl.
Over.
Was it 5?
6.
6.
You had one that was kind of on an angle.
All right, I'm gonna keep loading this, and then it's your turn. What do you think?
I think it looks pretty smooth.
So, you know, this goes to show you, 1873 lever gun was quite the weapon in its day. Kind of still is. And spinner at 25 yards with what is a pistol cartridge goes to prove that the spinner is absolutely doable at these distances. Let's get this thing loaded up. Then we're gonna see Sinistral RIfleman do the same thing. Man, I have a pocket full of shells. I have a lot of shells.
How many does that hold?
My pocket? Lots. This probably is 100 in my pocket.
The tube.
This one currently holds 13. Yeah, but my pocket holds a lot more. Goes to show you don't need a cartridge belt for this either, do you?
Nope.
Just keep going. There we go. I lost count. There you go. Over!
Nice.
Nice.
I like that.
I'm gonna keep spinning this. Oh, I'm out. So you always shoot ARs in modern guns.
Yep.
Although we've been getting you to do a little less of that, a little more of this recently.
Yeah, when it's not for score.
Okay. Well, this was kind of for score.
Mostly for fun.
Mostly for fun. So what do you think of the 1873 lever gun?
I wouldn't feel terribly disadvantaged using one of those.
Okay.
It's very controllable. It looks like you can load it relatively fast, and it's accurate enough.
Yep. The only thing I found challenging is the notch sight, and that front post was a little harder to get on fast enough to always get each presentation of the spinner.
Right.
If there had been a different sighting system, I don't know, blasphemy, let's say a red dot on here, how do you think this would have fared then?
Pretty darn quick. Or even just traditional rifle sights without that weird
Oh, the big buckhorn?
buckhorn thing is kind of odd to me,
Yeah.
but I could probably get used to it.
Yep. But if a sighting system was improved, this would be pretty darn decent.
Yep.
It's already decent the way it is.
Yeah, I can see why certain companies are doing modernized lever guns now for states with restrictions on modern semi-autos.
Long time ago on InRange, I talked about the 1860 Henry and other lever guns as being the quote, and I know this is not the right term because it didn't exist yet, assault rifle of its day. But when you think about it, 4440 with a bunch of rounds in the tube, quick reloads, essentially the intermediate cartridge, although we call it a pistol by nowadays standards, but they reloaded 4440 hot too for the rifle. Intermediate cartridge of the day, as fast as you can cycle the action. This filled the role of what an AR-15 does today.
Yeah, and they were about as common at the time too, weren't they?
They were very common. Not in the military circles, but in civilian circles, lever guns were one of the go-to weapons of the day. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing that. You can see the spinner's completely doable with a lever gun here at 25 yards. And this is an interesting challenge, and I'd like to thank the Patreon supporters for providing this recommendation. If you'd like to support InRange, you can find us at patreon.com/InRangeTV. Share with your friends.